Welcome back. I'm going to do an unboxing of the Unearthly Cosmetics Valentine's Day box. I know there's an eyeshadow palette, so I'm going to do a look with that also today. And I kept my base pretty simple because I know that there's a blush in there and then a bunch of lip products. So I'll do an eyeshadow look, hopefully use the blush, and then I'll swatch like everything else. I tried to stay away from any spoilers on Instagram as best I could. I did see a photo of the palette, but I tried not to look too closely, and I didn't see any swatches or anything of it. So this is basically like a first impressions as well. So you will see my reaction as I open the products because it's my first time opening them. A little bit about my history with the brand. So far, I've only tried the Dreamer palette. I have purchased several other eyeshadow palettes and some lip products from them. I placed a couple orders when they were doing the 50% off. I believe it was after Christmas, but I got a few of the pre-order palettes that weren't going to ship until like the end of February or something, so I haven't actually received any other eyeshadow palettes from them, and I haven't ever done a mystery box. But what I can tell you is that I've really enjoyed using the Dreamer palette. I really enjoy the formula of the shades. They perform really nicely for me, and I like every look that I've put together with it, so I'm sure this mystery box will be no different. So here is the box, and then when you open it, there's like a couple foam pieces, and then here it is. So I had kind of seen like what products are in the box. I knew that they were lip products. I knew that there was a blush and a couple makeup brushes, and then of course the eyeshadow palette, but I didn't see any of what colors of everything were except for like the one thing of the eyeshadow palette that I saw. So I'm gonna start opening things. I'll probably do all the lip products first and then end with the eyeshadow palette, and then I'll get right into the eyeshadow look. So I'll actually start on the right hand side and just go top from bottom. So the first thing is a lipstick, and it's in the shade Bliss. Ooh, okay, so it's like a liquid lipstick. I really like this packaging. It's pretty unique. This looks like a shade of some other products that I have and I really like, so I think I'll probably like it. It's like a warm browny beige. So there's the first one. Again, that's the shade Bliss, and it's just called a lipstick. Alright, the next one down is a lip oil, and it's in the shade Heartache. Alright, it has the same packaging as the lipstick. I like that it so clearly states on the side of it that it's lipstick. And then I also like it's sort of like an angled bottom, and that's where the shade name is listed. I like that. Okay, so this looks to be, oh, it's like a purple, like an indigo. Alright, I'm liking that. Okay, the next one down is the blush, and it's called Nirvana. Okay, same packaging as the lip oil and the lipstick. This is like a pinky lilac. I'm gonna love that blush. Okay, one thing that I'm kind of noticing with this packaging, it didn't do it with the lip oil, but the blush, like when it's lined up, it doesn't feel all the way closed. So if I twist it once more to like make it feel like it's closed, it's now no longer lined up. So I don't know if I leave it lined up if it's gonna dry out the blush or not. That'll be something that I'll have to keep an eye on, I guess. Okay, the next one down is a lip gloss, and it's in the shade Admire. Same packaging. Ooh, this is like a really, it's like purple. There's maybe some glitter in it. It's kind of hard to tell in the packaging. Okay, no glitter. So that's the gloss. You can tell it just has like a little bit more like substance to it than the lip oil, and like maybe a little bit more opacity to it. Okay, and then the last one on that side is also a lip gloss, and it's in the shade Puppy Love. Ooh, okay, now this has glitter. It's pink with lots of glitter. Ooh, it's like an iridescent glitter, kind of shifty, like pink with a little bit of blue shift maybe. Liking that. Okay, over on to the left hand side, it starts with the eyeshadow palette, but I'm going to leave that for now. So the next one down is the brush. Actually, I think there's 2 brushes in it. Oh no, there's 4 brushes. So a face brush, which I'm assuming is for like the blush. Okay, I really like this. It's angled, and it sort of does that triangle thing. You know, like the Rare Beauty foundation brush. It's about the same shape as that, but it's a little bit more fluffy, less like dense. The bristles I think are a little bit longer than that brush as well. Let me get that and I'll compare them. So let's compare the Unearthly to the Rare Beauty. So like same shape, but you can see the Unearthly has longer bristles, and then like you can kind of see how dense the Rare Beauty is compared to the fluffiness of the Unearthly. It kind of seems a little bit big for blush on my face, but I'll try it and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I guess this brush name is UC8-1. This one, which is called A4. So this is too big to use on my eyes because I have hooded eyes, but it could probably be a pretty good like highlighter brush, or like just super blending stuff out on the eyes or something. And then there's the UC8-7, which is a like decently sized blending brush. It's probably like a good crease brush. And then this UC8-5, it's kind of fluffy, but it's flat. So this can probably be good to like pack on eyeshadows, maybe work with some shimmers. So that's pretty cool. All right, the next box down is eyeliner. And if I remember right, there's 2 things in here. So Love Struck and Tears. So the shade Love Struck must be like a pink. Ooh, it's also kind of shifty with some glitter. All right, so then the second one, Tears, it must be blue of some sort. Yeah, it's like a really light blue, kind of shifting some like lavender purple, which that kind of tracks for how the colors have been of everything else. Okay, so Love Struck is on the top, and then Tears is on the bottom. Okay, last but not least, the eyeshadow palette. The Charmer palette. There goes the plastic. Okay, the colors are pretty on theme. Some purple and blue. And then gray, teal, pink. This one is showing up a little bit like, maybe it looks foresty green, hard to tell, but it's like a teal. And then that's like a straight up hot pink. Got like a really deep mauve, purple, lilac, and then like a bluish periwinkly shade. Okay, that's looking really nice. I'll insert some footage of me having it like fully swatched. Pretty excited to use these. I'm gonna think about sort of what I want to do, and then I'll come back and do the look. Throw the blush on. I don't have a highlight on. The shade Lure might be able to work as a highlight though. It's light enough, so I'll be right back to do an eye look. All right, on to the look. I think I'm going to stay like in this realm, and then I might end up using that somewhere in the look, just so that if I use it as a highlighter, it sort of brings it together. I'm gonna start with the Aboutface eyeshadow primer. Kind of thinking of doing like a gradient where I probably start with this on the inner part of the eye, maybe move into this, and then go with the darker purple on the outer corner. I'll start with the mattes, and then I'll just like layer the shimmers over it. So I'm going to use the flatter UC 8-5 brush to start laying the shade Sweet Talk on the inner part of the eye. And taking it like up through the crease area. Okay, I'm going to flip the brush over and use the shade Crave. And then I'm just going to like wipe off the brush and go in with the shade Entice. Okay, I'm going to use the UC 8-7 brush with nothing on it and just sort of blend. Just so that I can get some use out of more of the shades, I think I'm going to use the shade Crush, which is more of like the hot pink shade, and put that on my lower lash line. And I'm going to use the 8-5 brush and like wipe it off again. to sort of use the edge of it. Then I wiped the other brush off and I'm going to blend it. I feel like I kind of like how this looks just with the mattes, but I'm going to throw some shimmer on. Okay, so those are the 3 shimmers that go with the mattes. I think, okay, I'm going to use Intrigue, which matches with like the darker purple on the outer corner. And then I guess use the shade Charmer on like the inner part. And then I'll probably just try to stay with the 2. Okay, I'm going to start with Charmer. Okay, then move on to Intrigue. I'm going to add just a little bit of the shade Entice, which is the darker purple that I used, on the lower lash line to sort of like bring them together. Okay, then I'm going to go in the shade Lure as my inner corner. And then I'm going to add some of that to my brow bone as well. I'm going to add a little bit of the shade Crave to the bottom. Alright, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get an eyeliner to put in my waterline, and then I'll throw mascara on, and then I'll come back to do the blush, add probably some of that Lure shade as a highlight, and pick a lip to wear. Okay, so I added some of the liner tiers across the top of my lid because I realized I kind of forgot to use one of those. I think these would be really good at like doing graphic type designs, like, you know, where you go like all the things that are kind of a little bit difficult to do with hooded eyes. Like, I could do it, it would just have to be like so close to my brow bone, but that's okay. I quite like it. It makes my lash line look pretty reflective, which generally I'm trying to make it look darker to like emphasize my eyelashes a little bit, so it's sort of opposite of what I would normally be doing. But I think with this look and how it is, it fits pretty well. And then in the waterline, I used the LA Girl ShockWave Neon Eyeliner in the shade Vivid. I have a pink one that I could have used, but I kind of felt like going purple with it. So that's what I did. Let's put some of the blush on. I don't know if it's something that'll like dry really fast, so I'm just gonna do one cheek at a time. That blended out pretty nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first blush that the brand has ever done, or like the first liquid blush. It's pretty nice. I like the color. It's definitely on the cooler tone, which I think makes it fit with the eyeshadow. Yeah, I like how that looks. It kind of just makes me look a little flushed, which is kind of what blush is supposed to do. All right, let's go to the shade Lure, and I'm gonna use the A4 brush and slap it on as highlight. Whoa. Definitely shiny, but I think it fits. I like how that looks. Let's pick a lip. I don't think that I want to go with the lipstick because it's just quite a bit darker, or maybe that's why I should use it. I was thinking of going with the purple lip gloss, the shade Admire. Let's try the lipstick, I guess. Okay, I do like the shade, but I just don't think that it's what this look is going for. I don't know anything about the lipstick formula. I'm assuming that it would dry pretty like budge proof. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the shade Admire. I have a purple lip liner that I could probably use with this. I think I like how that looks. Okay, maybe I'm gonna try some of the Puppy Love shade. Holy Reflective Batman. Okay, this is it. This is the gloss for the super shiny look. I feel like you can kind of feel some of the glitter particles in it, but it's not too bad. It is kind of, I maybe just layered too much on, but I feel like when I'm talking, like you can feel the like on your lips, you know. Here it is, the final look. That is my unboxing of the Unearthly Valentine's Day mystery box. I am really impressed with the palette. I love all of these shades and I'm excited to use some of the more darker shades. From what I can tell, the formula is the same or at least very similar to the Dreamer palette, which again is the only other eyeshadow palette from the brand that I've tried thus far. The Dreamer palette does have some hollow shades in it. I think there's a couple. This doesn't, but I'm perfectly fine with that. The shimmers are really nice. I love that you can use the shade Lore as a highlight, just because they didn't put out a highlight with this mystery box. I haven't really been paying close attention to the brand for very long, but I think maybe they sometimes do have highlighters or highlighter palettes in some of the boxes that they've put out or some of the collections that they've put out. So a little bit kind of a disappointment that they didn't have one in this box, but it's not the end of the world. I have other highlighters. I don't typically go super heavy on the highlighters anyways. So far, so the eyeshadow palette, really like it. The blush, I really love it. I'll have to see how it wears throughout the day, but it applied really nicely and it blended out pretty nicely. I probably could have put a little bit more on because I do typically wear, like, I love blush. Blush is one of my favorite things and I love wearing a lot of blush. So I could have put more on, but so far pretty impressed with the formula. You know what it actually reminds me of is the NYX Sweet Cheeks blush. It's like a doe foot type applicator. It's like a moussey matte texture that actually kind of reminds me a lot of this. Can't really say much about the lipstick since I wiped it off. The color kind of almost doesn't go with the rest of the collection. Hard to say. Maybe if I wore some of the darker shades in the palette, it would have gone better. But with the lighter, like pinks and purples, I feel like this doesn't much go, unless this probably doesn't look as dark on other people as it does me, so maybe it would go more. The lip glosses feels pretty nice on the skin. I like the reflectiveness of the Puppy Love shade with the glitter. The Admire shade felt really nice on the lips before I wiped it off. So then I guess the only thing that I didn't put on is the lip oil, but lip oil is a lip oil is a lip oil kind of. I'm sure it feels really nice. It swatched really nice on the skin and it swatched kind of like other lip oils that I've had. So I'm sure it performs nicely. The liquid eyeliners, I really like the shade Tears. I like the more bluey, cooler toned of it. I'm usually not a big wearer of pink, so I'm not sure how much use I'll get out of the shade Love Struck, but I'll play around with it, like probably. Again, I think these eyeliners are probably more suited to do like graphic eyeliner stuff, not necessarily just wearing it along the lash line. But I don't really dabble too much in the graphic eyeliner realm, but maybe now that I have these, I will. And the brushes, the eye brushes worked nicely. They laid down the pigment. I think they blended out the eyeshadows pretty nicely. The bigger of the eye brushes, but littler of like a face brush, it applied the eyeshadow Lure as a highlight really well. And the bigger brush blended out the blush beautifully. So maybe it's not too big. Like, I think it ended up working quite nice. And I just really like how this look came together, and I'm excited to use it more, and I'm excited to use more from Unearthly. I'm paying attention to them more. I've been paying attention more to indie brands, just sort of getting into indie eyeshadows more so than I was before. Like I said in the beginning, I placed a couple orders with Unearthly when they did the 50% off, so those should be coming soon. I got a couple notifications of things shipping, and I think they're supposed to be here tomorrow, but I didn't think all of the pre-ordered palettes had been like arrived yet, so I don't know if they like partially shipped the orders. I guess I'll find out when I open the packages tomorrow. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, did you pick up the collection? Have you tried Unearthly before? Do you like their formulas? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear about it. If you're new here, subscribe before you go. If you like stuff like this, I do a lot of custom eyeshadow palettes and shopping my stash. I like to use the things that I already have while also trying some new stuff here and there. So I would love to have you stick around, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!